Hello and welcome. I'm happy to see you all here today to talk trash. Or more specifically, let's talk about one of the places our trash ends up. Let's talk about the Northern Pacific Subtropical Gyre. Better yet, let's call it by its nickname, the North Pacific Garbage Patch. Here's a test question for you. What island off the coast of California do you most likely dream about going to for vacation?
Hawaii?
Correct, it's Hawaii. Lovely, isn't it? I've been there, it's beautiful. Hawaii can truly be called a paradise. And right near Hawaii can be found what? The answer is the Northern Pacific Garbage Patch. Some people call it an island. Others think that's a bit far-fetched. Let's agree that it's out there and it surrounds the oasis of Hawaii. How big is it? It's big. The Northern Pacific Subtropical Gyre lies approximately 500 nautical miles off the coast of California, stretches past Hawaii and almost to Japan. That's pretty big, isn't it? That's the entire Northern Pacific Gyre. You didn't know that there's an island out there that big, did you? Well, you're right. The Northern Pacific Gyre is not an island. It's a phenomenon of rotating, swirling current that churns the Northern Pacific in a giant circle. Some call it an island because it's a shocking way to draw the attention to a horrific reality. The reality is that the gyre sucks into itself floating debris and holds onto the stuff for decades. The debris is so thick in places that some who have seen it say it looks like a floating island that one could walk on. An island? No. Toward its center, there are places where the debris is thicker, and it's in these places where one could say it's island-like. Here's a depiction of the gyre. See how big it is? Sometimes one could find itself in one side, and after some time have traveled all the way over to the other side, which would be Japan, and then back again to California. And oftentimes it gets stuck in there and then it just swirls and swirls around for decades. That's debris. That's anything that it captures. Captain Charles Moore sailed through the area in 1997 as a shortcut across the ocean during a yacht race. This route is seldom taken because of poor wind conditions and currents, and when Captain Moore sailed through the gyre in 1997, he was disgusted. He saw trash in the water for a week, and his yacht crossed the open ocean. He was so affected by what he saw, he founded the Algalita Marine Research Foundation so the gyre, its captive trash, could be studied. Did you know that there was so much trash in the ocean? Did you know?
No, not really.
Well, let me tell you about my experience with the ocean and trash. I worked on the Ocean City, New Jersey Beach Patrol for 10 years. I loved the beach. For me, the beach was a natural and exciting place to live and to work. I had an appreciation for the ocean, nature, and its beauty. Okay, not quite like Hawaii on the scale, but close. I think that others feel the same way. People, families go to the shore like Ocean City to relax and let the kids play in a natural setting. Working on the beach patrol, I saw all kinds of people, young and old. They would park themselves on the spot, set up camp, and enjoy the beach. And when it was time to go home, the chairs would be folded, toys put in bags, and flip-flops protected the feet from hot sand. I would see them come, and I would see them go. And most days, I had to clean up after them, too. Soda cans, cups, plastic toys, and even dirty diapers. I would angrily pick it up and walk it to the trash can. I couldn't get it all. I know I left some on the beach. And I know what happened to much of it. When the seagulls were done with the trash, the wind would blow it out to sea. And the trash that was left close to the water would be washed out to sea with the tide. We mentioned reality earlier. Well, the reality is that the beach isn't what we dreamed it to be. It's dirty. I challenge you to go to the beach and not see trash. It's there. We grow so accustomed to seeing trash in our daily routine, either along the side of the road, or on the way to work, or even when we go for walks in the park, that there's a kind of desensitivity to it. Little kids would sometimes come out of the ocean, just walking out of the water when I was working, and I would see plastic bags wrapped around their ankles. People would laugh, but was it really funny? Take a good look around. We're surrounded by trash. Let's get back to the North Pacific garbage patch and the research. The research vessels would pull a net through a relatively small part of the gyre and studied what they caught. They caught Legos, footballs, kayaks, wires from computers and machines, and plastic shopping bags, amongst other things. They also caught nurdles of plastic that were the result of years washing around in the ocean, blanketed in the sun, and the byproduct of manufacturing. Nurdles, the name given to tiny pieces of plastic. Now let's see the numbers. Of the trash found in the ocean, 80% originated from land blown or washed out to sea from rivers or beaches. The remaining amount originating from ocean dumping off of platforms or ocean-going vessels. 90% of all the trash floating in the ocean is plastic. Maybe the researchers found one of your plastic shopping bags floating out there. Maybe after you threw it out in your household trash can, it went to a landfill near the ocean and a seagull flew it out over the sea. There are many opportunities for trash, even that which is properly disposed of, to find its way to the ocean. According to independent news and media, the UN Environment Program found there to be 46,000 pieces of plastic for every square mile of ocean. Plastic outweighs plankton 6 to 1. And today, that was 2006, and today the figure is greater with an estimated 46 to 1 plastic to plankton ratio. I think we might concern ourselves with that, don't you? Okay, so we don't really see the North Pacific Gyre too often during our routines here in Pennsylvania. So maybe we can live with the issue in the North Pacific subtropical gyre. Think again. Plastic nurdles act like chemical sponges attracting pollutants such as pesticides and hydrocarbons. The nurdles look like food to some animals. Birds, marine mammals, and fish ingest the plastic. We eat the fish. Do we eat the trash? Does anyone have any questions?
I do.
Okay.
So I went to Hawaii, but I don't remember seeing any trash when I was taking my helicopter ride around the island and looking out at the ocean.
That is an interesting point. I read about that too. I read that even from satellite pictures around Hawaii and in the subtropical gyre, you're not going to see the plastic trash floating around in the water. You're not going to see it in those pictures because of the reflection off the water. Fact is, the only place you're really going to see it is when you're on a cruise ship looking down from the first deck. You're going to see the ship actually plowing through it. I read about that, and I think it was Discover. It's true, you're not going to see it from the airplane, but it's there.
So what do I do?
It floats just below the surface.
So what can I do?
Well, that's a good question. And it leads me to my closing. I would like you to say no thanks when the checkout person asks you if you want a bag for your bag of chips. Take your own bag and don't take the chance that you'll be adding to the North Pacific garbage patch. Maybe we can slow the monster and our children sitting on the beach in Hawaii can look back and see that we truly cared about their future. Thank you.